Chapter 3576 1. Just when the shepherd gods arrived and saw all their disciples killed, they were infuriated. Located in the chaotic continent, in front of the solitary heaven city. The solitary heaven city was a neutral city that wasn't very strong. The strongest expert in the city was only a first-order universe lord. On the right side of the city, Wang Xian and the rest gradually appeared. Dragon King, the sacred dragon bloodline, the light giant tribe, and the luminous insect tribe are in the east of the solitary heavens city. The sky formation is monitoring them from afar, Anlai said to Wang Xian from the side. Wang Xian nodded and looked in that direction with flickering eyes. Even though they were far away, they could feel the terrifying aura coming from that direction. To prevent any accidents, take action immediately. We can't let them escape and return to their holy kingdoms. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the surrounding experts of the Dragon Palace and ordered. Yes, Dragon King! The group of experts nodded. Hongdu, we'll have to trouble you to take action next. Both of us will quickly kill the experts from the other side and snipe those who are trying to escape. Wang Xian looked at Ling Hongdu and said. Ling Hongdu nodded. All right, I'll do my best. Let's go! Wang Xian and the rest concealed themselves and immediately flew towards the sacred dragon bloodline and the other two races. In the surroundings, the heavenly formation had already been set up. However, the other party didn't enter the range of the sky formation. This sky formation was just to set up a barrier around them. If they were lucky, it could be very useful. The sacred dragon bloodline and the other two races hovered in the void, waiting quietly for news from the shepherd gods. If the shepherd gods asked for help, they could return immediately. If the problem was solved, they would summon them over with a secret art and continue their journey. They were waiting in the void for news. At the solitary heavens city, all the experts and disciples were shocked when they sensed the terrifying energy not far away. Why did the sacred dragon bloodline stop at our side? What are they waiting for? It seems like their team is missing some races. The shepherd gods, Black Fog Spirit Tribe, and the Ghoul Tribe aren't here. What's going on? What happened on their side? But even the power of the three major races is enough to make people feel despair. They are simply too strong. Try Mad 1, Gad 2. Within the solitary heavens city, the disciples of the various experts were discussing in low voices. Wang Xian and the rest flew over the city and stared at it with flickering eyes. Dragon King! Beside them, the heavenly array immediately came forward to welcome them upon learning of their arrival. Where is the formation set up? Wang Xian immediately asked the sky array. Dragon King, the array formation has been set up here. The sacred dragon bloodline and the other two tribes are not within its range. If we were to fight later, we would only be able to drive them here. The heavenly array pointed in a direction. The heavenly formation's ambush had been prepared long ago. However, although they could calculate where the other party could reach, they couldn't calculate the exact location of the other party. This also caused the array formation to deviate from the original one. However, the deviation was not very far. If they wanted to escape in this direction, they would be able to enter the formation. Wang Xian nodded as he stared at the area shrouded in light. His eyes gradually revealed murderous intent. Let's do it. Let's do it by force. He ordered and immediately flew forward. Ling Hongdu, let's take the left and right sides. The rest of the disciples of the Dragon Palace will lure them to the array formation. However, we can't let them escape back to the God Nation. Yes. The experts of the Dragon Palace nodded as their eyes were filled with violent, murderous intent. The three major tribes, the Sacred Dragon Bloodline, the Light Giant Tribe, and the Light Bug Tribe, were heading to annihilate the Dragon Palace. Now, they would be attacked by the Dragon Palace. The sky array moved and immediately flew to the side to set up the array formation. Let's do it. When Wang Xian sensed the fluctuation of the sky array formation, he and Ling Honggu took the lead and flew towards the void where the three major tribes were stagnating. Their speed was fast, and the experts of the Dragon Palace followed closely behind. As the other party was in the void, it was impossible to launch a surprise attack. Now, they could only launch a direct attack. Annihilate the other party with great force. At the same time, the Sacred Dragon King and the other experts were sitting cross-legged in the void above. When the energy fluctuation came from the right side, they immediately sensed it and were slightly stunned. This was the fluctuation of the array formation. Since Sky Array was setting up an array formation at such a close distance, they would be able to discover it very quickly. Try Mad 1 Gad 2 Catch X. Someone is attacking. At this moment, the patriarch of the Giant of Light tribe immediately looked to the right and bellowed, "Courting death! How dare someone attack us?" The leader of the Light Bug tribe immediately looked over and stared at them with cold eyes. In their line of sight, they saw two figures attacking them at a terrifying speed. Behind these two figures were existences that exuded majestic auras. There were no less than 50 of them. The Sacred Dragon King looked over and his cold eyes flickered. It's the Dragon Palace. Damn it! It's the Dragon Palace! He roared. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Why did the Dragon Palace suddenly attack them here? Were they already prepared for this? Weren't they attacking the Shepherd tribe? Luring the tiger away from the mountain? Attack! Attack them directly! The Sacred Dragon King furrowed his brows and roared again. In an instant, waves of horrifying energy shrouded the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian and Ling Honggu looked at each other. With a swift movement, both of them split into two groups and increased their speed. Swoosh! The unbeginning sacred wings flapped, and Wang Xian's speed reached its limit. Ling Honggu's body exploded with blood-red light. The aura from his body was beautiful, bloody, and terrifying. What happened? SSS, what a terrifying aura. What's happening over there? Is there a terrifying figure? What's going on? An expert is attacking the Sacred Dragon bloodline and the other tribes. This, what a terrifying aura! When Wang Xian and the rest's aura was activated, within the heavenly city, all the experts and disciples suddenly felt the terrifying energy rushing towards them, and all of their faces were filled with shock. They hurriedly looked up into the sky with their eyes wide open. At this time, a roar reverberated across the sky. Someone was attacking the Sacred Dragon bloodline and the other tribes. This made them feel incredulous. Chapter 3577 Divine Dragon Roar. Among the 50-odd Third Order Universe sovereigns in Dragon Palace, there were 12 purebred divine dragons. Apart from Aosia and the rest were all pinnacle dragons. Their roars shook the heavens and earth. However, the Sacred Dragon bloodline, Luminous Insect race, and Giant of Light tribe were also mutated experts of their own races. Compared to the mutated experts of the pinnacle races, the members of the advanced races were easier to mutate. This was because there were very few treasures that could mutate the pinnacle races. However, there were many more treasures that could mutate the pinnacle races. However, the strength of Wang Xian and Ling Honggu was even more terrifying. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The Sacred Dragon King, the leader of the Giant of Light tribe, and the leader of the Luminous Insect race sensed the attack from Dragon Palace. Without hesitation, they shrouded all the members of Dragon Palace with terrifying energy. All the members of Dragon Palace immediately released their energy to counterattack. Wang Xian and Ling Honggu stood on the left and right. They did not launch any attacks, but attacked them at a terrifying speed. With terrifying speed, the two of them easily dodged this terrifying attack and locked onto the experts of the Sacred Dragon bloodline from the three great races. Swoosh! Wang Xian pushed his speed to the limit. On his shoulder, the Aqua Tentacle King laid on one side while Lingling appeared on the other side. She waved the water lotus staff in her hand and blasted waves of energy onto Wang Xian. His speed was even faster than Ling Honggu. There's a figure charging over. Be careful! When Wang Xian came to their side in the blink of an eye, the Luminous Insect tribe's group of huge insects suddenly opened their triangular eyes. Those eyes were locked onto Wang Xian, trying to capture his movements. However, even though he captured them, it was useless. Wang Xian's speed was too fast. He locked on to a giant of light. That giant of 100,000 meters in size appeared before Wang Xian in an instant. Starlight, be careful! Not too far away, a giant loudly reminded them. Roar, tremor of light! Starlight sensed the threat of death. Its body shook and a terrifying wave of light blasted towards the surroundings. Water domain! Seeing this attack, the Aqua Tentacle King let out a soft roar and formed a water domain around Wang Xian. Try, Mad One, Gad 2. Wang Xian was already holding the 5 elements grindstone in his hand. Die! Tremor of light surrounded him, but was easily blocked by the Tentacle King's water domain. Holding the 5 elements grindstone, he injected energy into it and smashed it forward. Boom! No! Patriarch, save me! Starlight cried out in fear when it saw that its attack was blocked. Ka ka ka! The 5 elements grindstone smashed into his body, causing it to tremble violently. His life force was rapidly disappearing. Dragon King of Dragon Palace! The Giant of Light looked over and roared furiously. Giant Peaks of Light, kill the Dragon King of Dragon Palace! He roared with a blood-red face and waved his arm. Behind him, a few third-order universe sovereigns in the form of Giants of Light lifted the massive light mountain and smashed it towards Wang Xian. That terrifying might was like the collapse of the heavens. Too slow! Wang Xian swept his gaze across and disappeared in a flash. He's above. He's fast, comparable to a true universe sovereign. The countless eyes of the giant insect formed by the light bugs stared at Wang Xian and let out a roar. Kill, flame, kill! However, at this time, a cold and crisp voice came from the right. A blood-red ribbon shot straight at a light divine dragon of the sacred dragon bloodline. The blood-red ribbon had a tinge of beauty and eeriness. When the light divine dragon saw the blood-red ribbon, it was startled and immediately roared. Courting death! Beside him, another pinnacle dragon from the sacred dragon bloodline let out a roar and charged towards the blood-red ribbon. The dragon claws and dragon heads formed by the light looked like they were about to devour it. Ka ka! However, the blood-red ribbon was like a blood sword, easily piercing through the dragon claws and dragon heads and continued towards them. Oh no, send reinforcements immediately! At the side, the sacred dragon king's expression changed drastically when he saw this. He roared loudly. Split second of life, exterminate! At this time, the blood-red ribbon swept towards 2 third-order universe sovereigns from the sacred dragon bloodline at a terrifying and eerie speed. Try, Mad One, Gad 2. The blood-red ribbon turned into a flying guillotine and charged straight at them. A light divine dragon, a pinnacle dragon, was pierced through by the flying guillotine. Their bodies were slowly dyed red with fresh blood. Fresh blood covered their bodies, causing them to look extremely beautiful and miserable. Roar, 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 how is this possible? Be careful of this expert from the Dragon Palace. Sacred Dragon King was slightly taken aback as he saw this eerie scene and roared. In just a short moment, 2 third-order universe sovereigns from the sacred dragon bloodline were killed. This attack was too terrifying and eerie. How could the opponent be so strong? Even the ancestral dragon leader was not this strong back then. That's a woman. A woman with dark and fire attributes is very strong. In the middle, the humongous radiance worm warned again. However, his warning was completely useless. Continue kill! Wang Xian swept a glance at Ling Hongdu. His eyes lit up when he saw Ling Hongdu killing 2 third-order universe sovereigns in an instant. He roared and immediately transformed into his divine dragon form. Roars resounded. Disciples of the Dragon Palace, kill them all! Leave none alive! Roving Heavens and the rest roared furiously in the middle. Eerie, desolate, silent, dark, listened to the song of despair. In the middle, the mystic dragon leader rose into the sky. She flapped her eerie dragon wings and a black flower of the other shore covered her body. Waves of eerie ripples spread forward. Frozen, world of winter, roar, roar! In the middle of the group of Dragon Palace experts was not Roving Heavens, AO-Chi, or AO2, but the Frost Divine Dragon, Bei Shuang, Wang Xian's female disciple. She was a mutated divine dragon from the Dragon Palace. Among the mutated divine dragons, other than Wang Xian's sister and wife, Fan Qi-lan, there was only Bei Shuang. The Frost Divine Dragon, be it in terms of attack or divine dragon, was an abnormally terrifying existence. She had almost no weaknesses and was so powerful that it made others feel despair. She opened her dragon head and spat out a stream of white smoke. The void in front of her seemed to be frozen. Chapter 3578. More than 50 experts from Dragon Palace charged towards them. Creepy magic dragon. A powerful frost divine dragon. This terrifying attack caused the expressions of the Holy Dragon King and the other powerful warriors of the three major tribes to change drastically. Their original plan of surrounding and killing Wang Xian and Ling Honggu vanished immediately. Frost Divine Dragon. Dragon Palace still has Frost Divine Dragons. Sacred Dragon King stared at Bei Shuang with widened eyes and roared in disbelief. Frost Divine Dragon. Around them, the leader of the Giant of Light and the leader of the Light Insect tribe looked over with an abnormally bitter expression. Frost Divine Dragon was a mutated existence in the Divine Dragon race. Even when the Divine Dragon race was at its peak, they were still considered as the top existences. The top races belonged to the top, and the top of the top were the mutated existences. Mutated Divine Dragons could almost represent the top combat power in the universe. At the same level, they could crush other existences with peak bloodline constitutions in a one-on-one fight. In the current universe, the only known pure mutated divine dragon was the Frost Divine Dragon from Dragon Palace. Oh no, Dragon Palace is very strong and horrifying, especially the two terrifying existences on the left and right. Each of them can easily kill an existence of the same level. We are no match for them. What's going on with the Shepherd tribe? The leader of the Giant of Light screamed in horror as he saw the situation. What the hell is going on? What's going on? Didn't Dragon Palace attack the ancestral dragon bloodline? Why did they suddenly appear here? Bam! Bam! Just as they were speaking, a loud crashing sound came from the ground. 3 corpses fell from the sky. They hit the ground with a loud crash. This was the fall of a giant, a light divine dragon, and a top race. SSS, the experts from Dragon Palace are attacking the sacred dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light, and the Light Insect tribe. Some of their experts have been killed. Fallen Giant of Divine Dragon, what a horrifying collision. Dragon Palace is so strong. How dare they attack the sacred dragon bloodline here? The strength of Dragon Palace is terrifying. Where are the experts from the Shepherd tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and the Ghoul tribe? Why did they leave? The Dragon Palace must have lured them away. It's hard to say who will win this battle. When the experts and disciples of the solitary Heaven City who were not too far away saw the battle, they almost wet their pants in fright. That incomparably terrifying energy shockwave could easily destroy half of the city. Under the devastation of that energy, they didn't even have the chance to escape. Fortunately, their battle was slightly further away from here. Even so, the sight of the giant divine dragon's corpse falling to the ground left them in utter shock. The strength displayed by the Dragon Palace had terrified them. Kill! Seeing the subordinates of the Dragon Palace charging over, Wang Xian snorted coldly. He swayed his massive divine dragon body and locked onto a Giant of Light. On the opposite side, Ling Honggu's blood-red figure floated in the air. Upon hearing Wang Xian's command, her skirt fluttered even though there was no wind. A long blood-red belt wrapped around her body, making her look like a cold, bloodthirsty beauty. A wisp of flame appeared between her eyebrows. The flame emitted a dazzling light, looking incomparably ethereal. The long blood-red belt and the dazzling flame between her eyebrows were both inborn cardinal treasures. The inborn cardinal treasures given to her by her grandfather. All of them had been refined by her. She fixed her gaze on the sacred dragon king of the sacred dragon bloodline and charged over. The shepherd tribe was lured away on purpose. We have fallen into their trap. They want to take us down one by one. Let's go back. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe could sense the terrifying aura of the Dragon Palace. Sensing the terrifying aura from Wang Xian and Ling Honggu, he spoke with an awful expression. The attack on the shepherd tribe was a ploy by the Dragon Palace. They had lured them away on purpose so that they could take them down one by one. The strength of the Dragon Palace was not a match for the 6 major races. However, once they split up, the Dragon Palace was stronger than them. All right. The Sacred Dragon King and the leader of the Light Insect tribe nodded with an awful expression. All disciples, return to your holy kingdoms immediately. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe roared. Hee, trying to escape? Dream on! Wang Xian sneered. With a cold expression, he roared and changed his target immediately. The Tai Chi dragon coiled around him. At the same time, the 5 elements grindstone enlarged and appeared below him. With a thought, the aquatic tentacle king and Lingling cast layers of defense on Wang Xian. Roar! Roar! With a roar, Wang Xian charged towards the 3 major races. Presumptuous! The leader of the Light Insect tribe and the leader of the Giant of Light tribe were extremely embarrassed when they saw Wang Xian charging towards them. A pair of horns of light appeared on the head of the leader of the Light Insect tribe. From the horns, a ray of radiant laser was shot towards Wang Xian instantly. The dozen giants waved their arms and the giant peak of light flew over their heads and smashed towards Wang Xian again. Roar! Roar! Wang Xian focused his gaze and the pair of dragon eyes that were integrated into his dragon eyes faced the laser from the Light Insect tribe. Swoosh! The inborn cardinal treasure, time fragment, that was integrated into his dragon scales, flapped and attacked the giant peak of light. Giant axe! However, the leader of the Giant of Light tribe raised his arm and a horrifying giant axe appeared in his hand. He slashed at Wang Xian. The other experts and disciples around him also attacked Wang Xian. However, a large portion of the Giant of Light tribe and the disciples of the Light Insect tribe were attacking the experts of the Dragon Palace. It was impossible for all of them to gang up on Wang Xian. Wang Xian's face turned cold when he saw the other parties attack. The attacks of the leader of the Giant of Light tribe and the leader of the Light Insect tribe, in addition to the horrifying giant peak of light. In the face of their attacks, Wang Xian did not dodge at all. The power of the Tai Chi dragon coil revolved, the 5 elements grindstone also revolved, and the earth element defended. The Aqua Tentacle King and Lingling set up their strongest defense. Boom! Boom! In the next instant, Wang Xian faced them head-on with his dragon body. The deafening sound of the collision reverberated across the sky and horrifying energy scattered in all directions. All disciples, run now. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe was horrified when he saw Wang Xian charging towards him. He reminded the Tier 1 and Tier 2 Universe Lords from the Giant of Light tribe. This time, the 6 major races had brought all the experts above the Universe Lord level to attack the Dragon Palace. Boom! However, at this moment, Wang Xian's body shook and a surge of dragon might rushed forward. Under the pressure of the dragon might, those first and second order sovereigns felt their bodies tremble. Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Chapter 3579, 1. Oh no! Patriarch, we can't escape. The might of the Dragon King of Dragon Palace is too terrifying. We can't escape now that we've been disrupted. The Giants of Light and disciples of the Light Insect tribe wanted to escape back to their own holy nations. However, Wang Xian's terrifying dragon might prevented them from doing so. Under such terrifying dragon might, they couldn't return to their holy nations in an instant. How can the Dragon King of Dragon Palace be so terrifying? Apart from his terrifying war pet, he even has a companion spirit. How is this possible? Damn it! The Dragon King is coming! Protect the surrounding disciples! The Patriarch of the Giants of Light and the rest were embarrassed to see Wang Xian fending off their powerful attacks so easily. Their attacks were powered by the Giant Light Tribe's special Giant Peaks of Light, as well as a primordial supreme treasure. The patriarch of the Light Insect Tribe had also used his inborn cardinal treasure. Under such circumstances, the Dragon Palace's Dragon King was actually able to withstand their joint attack. Such strength struck fear into their hearts. One had to know that even their joint attacks and inborn cardinal treasures could not fend off the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. In that case, who else could? The Patriarch of the Giants of Light and the rest hurriedly protected the surrounding First Order and Second Order Universe sovereigns as they watched the terrifying divine dragon charging towards them unscrupulously. Roar, roar! Wang Xian charged into the crowd of the three major races. Carrying an invincible aura, he rampaged. Arg! A First Order Universe sovereign screamed in pain as he was caught in the shockwave. Wang! At this time, Wang Xian's body shook and the dark ghost avatar appeared beside him. Roar, roar! A dark ghost avatar appeared out of nowhere and attacked the surrounding disciples. The Dragon King still has a trump card. This, the Patriarch of the Giants of Light was shocked to see the dark ghost avatar. Block! The Patriarch of the Light Insect Tribe flapped his wings and let out a shrill roar. The inborn cardinal treasure above his head fired another beam of light towards Wang Xian. Wang! Below Wang Xian, the five elements grindstone rotated and converted to the earth attribute for defense. The Tai Chi dragon coiled around him, while the Aqua Tentacle King and Lingling defended him. In the face of their attacks, Wang Xian ignored them completely and charged forward recklessly. They didn't even have the chance to escape. Some First and Second Order Universe sovereigns even suffered heavy injuries from the destructive energy. Crimson Fire! Soon, Wang Xian charged towards the group of experts from the Sacred Dragon bloodline. The Holy Dragon bloodline had only sent 12 Third Order sovereigns this time, and 2 of them had been instantly killed by Ling Honggu. Now that Ling Honggu was attacking Sacred Dragon King's group, in addition to the attacks from the Dragon Palace experts behind them, Sacred Dragon King's group could only defend with great difficulty. The moment Wang Xian dashed over, the flame between Ling Honggu's eyebrows shone brightly and engulfed all the experts and disciples of the Sacred Dragon lineage. Not good! When the Sacred Dragon King saw Wang Xian charging over and the horrifying beautiful flame, his body trembled violently. Run! He hurriedly shouted at the surrounding First and Second Order sovereigns. Holy Dragon King, you want to unify the Divine Dragon bloodline? You're just a lackey and a piece of trash. This Dragon King can easily destroy you. Wang Xian stared at the Sacred Dragon King and said disdainfully. He carried his body, exuded dragon might, and flapped his unbeginning sacred wings as he charged over. Arg! Arg, arg, arg! Wang Xian's charge, the Dragon Palace members' attacks, and Ling Honggu's attacks. Sacred Dragon King and the group of Third Order sovereigns could dodge, but those below Third Order sovereigns couldn't. Facing the might of Wang Xian, Ling Honggu, and the rest, the First and Second Order sovereigns let out blood-curdling screams. One by one, the radiant divine dragons and other powerful dragon species fell to the ground. Dragon Palace! Dragon King! When the Sacred Dragon King saw this, his body trembled violently. His eyes were bloodshot as he roared. Roar, roar! At this time, over 50 experts from the Dragon Palace charged over. At this moment, they were very close to the experts from the 3 major races. Frost Divine Dragon Bei Xuan locked her eyes on a giant of light and launched a close combat attack. Roving Heavens, Ao Qi, and Ao Tu roared as they locked their eyes on a Third Order sovereigns. An expert from the Dragon Palace with Third Order sovereigns locked his eyes on an expert of the same level. Kill! Wang Xian swayed his huge body, flapped his unbeginning sacred wings, and charged towards the Giant of Light. No, we are no match for the Dragon Palace. Find a way to escape. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe was extremely embarrassed when he saw this. If it was just a group of experts from the Dragon Palace, they would still have a high chance of winning. However, the Dragon Palace's Dragon King, and the red-robed lady were among them. They felt that the strength of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King and the red-robed lady were comparable to the real universe sovereigns. Killing the same level of strength in an instant was terrifying to them. Run! The leader of the light insect race and the rest did not hesitate as they roared. Run! Because of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King and the red-robed lady, they had no choice but to run. Run, run! Run! Without any hesitation, they fled towards the back. You won't be able to escape today! Wang Xian's eyes were filled with coldness when he saw them trying to escape. With a jerk of his body, the 5 elements grindstone below him attacked one of the Giant of Light. Roar! Roar! That Giant of Light also roared, lifted his huge arm, turned around, and blasted towards the 5 elements grindstone. All of you, run! He roared loudly as his arm collided with the 5 elements grindstone. Caw-caw! However, the next moment, the sound of bones breaking reverberated. This caused the Giant of Light to turn pale, and his eyes were filled with horror. Wang Xian flapped his unbeginning sacred wings, extended his dragon claws, and grabbed towards the Giant of Light. Watch out! At the side, a Giant of Light saw this and was shocked. He clenched his fist and punched towards Wang Xian. You should worry about yourself first. Behind him, the Frost Divine Dragon, Bei Shuang, extended his dragon claws and clenched the void. White frost appeared around him and gradually covered him. That's right. You should worry about yourself first. Die, lackey! When the Water Tentacle King saw this, she flew out from Wang Xian's shoulder and attacked the Giant of Light. Her body expanded to 100 kilometers in size, and her tentacles wrapped around the Giant of Light in a frenzy. Chapter 3580. The Water Tentacle King did not have a good impression of the lackeys of the angel race. She would never let go of the opportunity to kill the lackeys of the angel race. Terrifying tentacles shot towards the Giant of Light, and the terrifying tentacles caused the face of the Giant of Light with the combat power of a third-order universe sovereign to change drastically. A look of fear appeared on his face. The Frost Divine Dragon, North Frost, and the Water Tentacle King attacked. Facing their attacks, the Giant of Light was instantly bound by the Water Tentacle King's tentacles. Arg! A blood-curdling scream came from his mouth, and he roared with a face full of shock and anger. Arg! At this time, the Giant of Light that was being attacked by Wang Xian also screamed in despair. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, you deserve to die! The Patriarch of the Giant of Light saw this scene and his heart skipped a beat as he roared. However, he was busy fending off the attacks from the other experts of Dragon Palace and had no chance to rescue them. Bam bam! A series of blood-curdling screams could be heard. The 2 Giants of Light lost their lives under the attacks of Wang Xian and the Aqua Tentacle King. Their huge corpses fell to the ground slowly. Scatter and run! Contact the Celestial Shepherd race and the Angel race immediately! The Light Insect Tribe Patriarch's expression changed drastically when he saw this scene, and he roared in shock. The strength of Dragon Palace was too terrifying. They were all peak third-order universe sovereigns. They had powerful trump cards and powerful Sciention treasures. However, they felt extremely weak in front of the Dragon King of Dragon Palace and the rest. Whether it was the Dragon King of Dragon Palace, the Lady in Red, or the Battle Pet, all of them posed a threat to their lives. As a subsidiary race of the Angel race and the top of the high-level races, weren't they strong? They were strong too. But why were there so many freaks in Dragon Palace? Bam bam! Below them, 2 huge giants fell to the ground with a heavy thud. SSS this, the Sacred Dragon Bloodline, the Giant of Light Tribe, and the Light Insect race are no match for the Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace is so strong! When the giant divine dragon fell, those who died were all third-order sovereigns. My God, isn't the strength of the Dragon Palace a little too terrifying? The number of experts in the Dragon Palace isn't much higher than the 3 races. It's the Dragon King and the figure in red. They are too strong. They can easily kill someone of the same level. Gosh, is this the power of Dragon Palace? How could the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 6 major races destroy the Dragon Palace? Within the solitary Heaven's City, all of the powerful beings and disciples were watching this battle with their jaws agape as their faces were filled with shock. The sacred dragon bloodline and the other 2 major races were actually being chased by the Dragon Palace. Since the start of the war, several divine dragons and giants had fallen. In their opinion, these experts were already at the pinnacle of what they could achieve. And then he died in front of their eyes. The strength of the Dragon Palace shocked them. Continue kill! After killing the second giant of light, Wang Xian locked his eyes on a third-order universe sovereign from the light insect race. Flapping his unbeginning sacred wings, he gave chase. With Wang Xian's speed, there was no room for him to escape. He was already under attack from the experts of the Dragon Palace. Now that he saw Wang Xian charging towards him, his heart tightened and his face was filled with fear. Insect God, support me! He hurriedly asked for help. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The next moment, at the center of the light insect race, the eyes of the gigantic insect, which was tens of thousands of kilometers in size, suddenly opened. The number of eyes was too many to count. All the eyes were fixed on Wang Xian, releasing a dazzling laser. The light shrouded a large area behind him. More than a dozen experts of the Dragon Palace were also completely covered. Buzz! A flash of aurora charged towards Wang Xian. Buzz! Wang Xian's body shook. The Tai Chi dragon plate on his body rotated and blocked the aurora. Boom! Ka! The aurora struck the Tai Chi dragon plate, and cracks began to appear on it. Huh! Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw this. The attack of this huge insect was a little strong. In a one-on-one battle, this insect should be able to kill a third-order universe sovereign expert. GGGG. However, when the insect's attack collided with the Tai Chi dragon plate, a horrifying backlash surged towards them. The Tai Chi dragon plate was forged by Wang Xian's light and dark doppelgangers, together with a huge amount of energy and treasures. It even absorbed the energy of the curse. Any attack that landed on the Tai Chi dragon plate would suffer a backlash. Unless the opponent was very strong, and could easily destroy the Tai Chi dragon plate. Otherwise, the backlash would be even stronger than the strength of his attack. In the center of the light insect race, the eyes of the huge insect that had gathered together were covered with blood. Miserable shrieks came from their mouths as a large number of insects died under the backlash. Light peak, suppress for me! A roar came from the side. Wang Xian looked over and saw the 8 giants of light and the tribe leader of the giants of light lifting the huge giant peak of light. Terrifying light energy was injected into it, causing the entire sky above the giant peak of light to condense into the shadow of a dire beast. They heavily smashed the giant peaks of light towards Ling Honggu. When Ling Honggu saw this attack, a grave expression appeared on his face. Crimson illusion! Her red skirt fluttered slightly, and thousands of identical figures instantly appeared around her. Each figure stretched out their palms with blood-red energy gathering on them. Bam, 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 bam! One by one, the figures charged towards the giant light peak and landed their palms heavily on it. As they collided, the figures collapsed and dissipated. And the condensed desolate beast phantom on top of the huge peak of light also began to dim bit by bit. Thousands of figures appeared one after another. The giant peak of light slowly stopped in the void. It had been completely blocked. Only a few of the thousands of figures were left. How is this possible? The leader of the Giant of Light tribe roared in disbelief. How is this possible? This was an attack that he had led 8 third-order universe sovereigns from his tribe to attack together. This was an attack that used a huge and horrifying giant light peak. And it was actually blocked? Even a true universe sovereign expert wouldn't be this strong, right? Don't fight, run with all your might. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe roared. This wasn't a battle of the same level. The other party was like a true universe sovereign. He was too strong. Chapter 3581. Run, run, run! The leader of the Giant of Light tribe roared. The leader of the Light Insect tribe roared too. The 9 pinnacle experts of the Giant of Light tribe couldn't do anything to the lady in red from the Dragon Palace. The trump card of the Light Insect tribe, the condensed insect deity to attack the Dragon King, had strangely killed 1/5 of them. There was no way to fight. Run, run for your life! The leader of the Giant of Light tribe and the rest were exceptionally embarrassed. Swoosh! Wang Xian continued to lock on to the Giant of Light from behind and quickly arrived before him. Seeing that the insect deity couldn't withstand Wang Xian, the Giant of Light revealed a tinge of despair. I'll fight it out with you! Knowing that he couldn't escape, the Giant of Light shone brilliantly. He turned into a ball of light and charged towards Wang Xian with all his might. He knew he would definitely die this time. Die! Wang Xian revealed a cold expression when he saw the attack before his death. This attack wasn't even as strong as the attack of the insect deity from the Light Insect tribe. Such an attack didn't affect him at all. Rumble! Wang Xian waved his dragon claws and injected a gust of energy into the 5 elements grindstone before blasting it directly. The terrifying collision caused the Giant of Light's body to be sent flying backwards. His body broke apart, and all signs of life vanished instantly. Seeing this, Wang Xian revealed a cold smirk as he fixed his eyes on the other Giant of Light. If this goes on, all of our disciples will die. Set up the defensive barrier and buy us a second. Seeing another expert being killed, the Giant of Light's heart trembled violently as he roared loudly. All right. The leader of the Light Insect tribe and the Sacred Dragon King could also see the current situation. If they continued to escape, more and more experts would be killed. The more experts were killed, the lower the possibility of them escaping. 1. Welcome to the death space that belongs to you. However, at this moment, the entire world suddenly changed color. In the surrounding area, incomparably huge pillars suddenly appeared. There were 9 pillars, and each pillar had an incomparably huge divine dragon entrenched on it. The divine dragons were divided into 9 attributes: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, light, and dark. The 9 attributes intertwined and formed a space. A sealed space. Similarly, this space also possessed a terrifying offensive power. What is this? The sudden rise of the 9 dragon pillars shocked the Holy Dragon King and all the powerful warriors of the 3 major tribes. They suddenly had a bad premonition in their hearts. It's an ambush. The Dragon Palace has set up an ambush array here. They are purposely leading us in this direction. The body of the Giant of Light clan's patriarch trembled. He vigilantly scanned the surroundings, sensing the surrounding space. At this moment, the divine dragons on the 9 dragon pillars roared in unison. They spat out torrents of 9 different attributes and bombarded them. Damn it, damn it! At the same time, in the territory of the God Shepherd clan, the disciples of the God Shepherd clan were killed, causing the experts of the God Shepherd clan to stand there with embarrassed expressions. Suddenly, the leader of the Black Fog spirit race saw the situation on the AI, and his face changed. His shocked voice attracted the attention of the experts and disciples of the corpse eaters and god shepherds in the surroundings. It was definitely not a small matter for the leader of the Black Fog spirit race to be so shocked. Oh no, the Sacred Dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light clan, and the Light Insect tribe have been attacked by the Dragon Palace. The other party is very strong, and they are no match for them at all. The leader of the Corpse Eaters, the leader of the God Shepherd clan, look at the message on your AI. It's from the Holy Dragon King. The leader of the Black Fog spirit race said with an ugly expression. What? His words caused the expressions of the surrounding experts and disciples to change drastically. The Dragon Palace was attacking the Sacred Dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light clan, and the Light Insect tribe? How was that possible? They had just attacked the nest of the God Shepherd clan, and now they were attacking them? And the Holy Dragon King and the others were no match for them? This? How did the Dragon Palace move from the God Shepherd clan to the Holy Dragon King's side in an instant? The Dragon Palace must have some powerful treasures, and they must have paid a lot of resources and treasures. Such a long-distance teleportation was also a huge consumption for the 6 great clans. Yet the Dragon Palace had such an ability. They broke through the defenses of the God Shepherd clan's grotto heaven and immediately teleported to our previous position. The treasures at the Dragon Palace must be terrifying. They must have obtained a very powerful Dragon King's inheritance, the leader of the Corpse Eaters said with a sullen expression. Not good. Patriarch, I've searched for information on the Dragon Palace's attack on the sacred dragon bloodline and the other 2 races. I found that many divine dragons and giants have fallen from the sky. Many Third-Order sovereigns were killed by them. At this time, an expert from the Corpse Eaters roared in shock. What? Third-Order sovereigns from the Holy Dragon King and the other 3 major tribes have been killed? This sentence caused everyone's expression to change once again, and all of them darkened. They also immediately searched on the Universe AI. At this moment, the AI was in an uproar. The news of the Dragon Palace attacking the sacred dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light clan, and the Light Insect tribe had completely exploded on the AI. The 6 major tribes had gone to destroy the Dragon Palace, and this matter had attracted the attention of all the experts and disciples. The sudden attack of the Dragon Palace had been posted on the AI by the experts and disciples of the solitary Heaven City, and it caused a huge uproar. Especially when they saw the divine dragons and giants falling from the sky, they were even more shocked. According to the news from the solitary Heaven City, there were already 5 to 6 Third-Order sovereigns killed. As for those First and Second-Order sovereigns, there were at least 100 of them. They looked at the information on the AI, and their bodies trembled violently. Luring the tiger away from the mountain, luring the tiger away from the mountain. The Dragon Palace is luring the tiger away from the mountain. The leader of the God Shepherd clan roared. Luring the tiger away from the mountain. But the problem was that the Dragon Palace had succeeded. The leader of the God Shepherd clan immediately sent a message to the Sacred Dragon King and the others, but there was no reply. Obviously, they had not escaped. What should we do? The leader of the Black Fog Spirit race asked with a gloomy expression. There's no other way. Even if we report this to the Angel race, it's useless. The Elf race is watching over the Dragon Palace. The Angel race cannot interfere in our war. The leader of the God Shepherd clan had an ugly expression on his face. Chapter 3582. This is bad. At the same time, on the battlefield, when the 9 mystical dragons on the 9 gigantic pillars attacked, the Holy Dragon King and all the other powerful figures felt their hearts tremble violently. Too strong, too strong. The experts of the Dragon Palace had set up an array formation in advance. If an array master could set up an array formation in advance, he could deal with 3 to 4 existences of the same level when the array formation was activated. Moreover, this array formation did not look like it was set up by a Third-Order Universe Lord Sorcerer. The sudden appearance of the array formation and the sudden sealing of the space had put them in a desperate situation. If they could not break the array formation, only death awaited them. Sacred Dragon Bloodline, Giant of Light Clan, Luminous Insect Race, let's see where you can run to now. You want to destroy our Dragon Palace? Today shall be the day you die. Wang Xian stared at them, his eyes filled with cold murderous intent. These array formations took more than a month to complete. The offensive power of the entire array formation was equivalent to 2 to 3 Third-Order Universe Lords. Most importantly, the sealing of the space. 9 dragon pillars, 9 attributes of the divine dragons, and 9 types of sealing. The Sacred Dragon Bloodline, Giant of Light Clan, and Luminous Insect Race had to destroy the 9 dragon pillars if they wanted to break the sealing of the space. The dragon pillars could move, and the area they could cover was unusually wide. But if they wanted to destroy it, they would have to face Wang Xian and the experts of the Dragon Palace. Destroy the array formation. At this time, don't hold back any trump cards. Kill! The sacred Dragon King's face was as dark as blood when he saw this. He roared and attacked the dragon pillars in front of him. Kill! Wan Xian let out a low roar as he locked on to the Third Order Universe Sovereigns and charged towards them. You are the sacred Dragon King? I'll kill you today! When Ling Honggu saw the sacred Dragon King attacking the dragon pillars, he waved his arm and a blood-red ribbon shot towards him. Kill! 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 The experts of the Dragon Palace rushed towards them immediately. With the obstruction of the array formation, the distance between them was shortened once again. Next, it would be a hand-to-hand battle. Boom, boom, boom! Every expert from the Dragon Palace radiated with powerful energy. AO2's entire body was wrapped in the Earth attribute as he charged forward directly. Relying on his nearly invincible defense, he was completely fearless. The Frost Divine Dragon, North Frost, swayed its huge body, and waves of freezing aura rushed forward. The eerie Mystic Dragon and the pure-blooded Dark Divine Dragon of metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, and light charged forward. The war had completely broken out. Block that woman in red, I'll destroy this formation! When the sacred Dragon King saw Ling Honggu charging at him, his expression changed drastically. He roared at his subordinates. Immediately, several light divine dragons and peak species attacked Ling Honggu. Are you looking down on us? Roar! Roving Heavens and the rest looked over. They waved the sea-steadying needle in their hands and attacked the light divine dragons. Honggu, kill the opponent's experts first. They destroyed a dragon pillar, but they can't destroy the formation. Wan Xian looked over and sent a voice transmission to Ling Honggu. All right. Ling Honggu's eyes flickered as she nodded. The flame between her brows bloomed, and a blood-red energy charged towards a light divine dragon. Oh no! The light divine dragon that was targeted by Ling Honggu shuddered. He had already seen how terrifying Ling Honggu was. If it was a one-on-one fight, he would be easily killed. Save me! He hurriedly roared. However, the surrounding Third Order sovereigns from the sacred dragon bloodline had no chance to help him. Roving Heavens and the rest rushed over, and they had to defend against the violent attacks of Roving Heavens and the rest. 1. A terrifyingly long blood-red ribbon completely covered the area around the light divine dragon, and it quickly shrank. The light divine dragon tried its best to defend, but it was of no use. Arg! When the war broke out, the sacred dragon bloodline, giant of light race, and radiant insect race's First Order and Second Order sovereigns were in trouble. In this terrifying war, they could not play any role at all. Just the horrifying energy fluctuations were enough to kill them quickly. More than 1,000 universe ruler-level powerhouses were instantly killed by half. It was only a matter of time before the other half died. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, if you want to kill us, we will kill more than half of your Dragon Palace's experts. The leader of the radiant insect race roared when he saw this scene. With just you guys? Wan Xian sneered, flapped his unbeginning saint wings, and came to the side of a Third Order sovereigns from the radiant insect race who was fighting the golden dragon from the Dragon Palace. Pfft! The radiant insect race expert, who was fighting the golden dragon from the Dragon Palace, could not resist Wang Xian's sudden attack. His body was pierced by Wang Xian's dragon claw. Today, all the experts from your 3 races shall die! Wang Xian roared, and with a move, he continued to attack the next Third Order sovereigns. The number of Third Order sovereigns from the 3 races was similar to that of the Dragon Palace. The experts from the Dragon Palace fought them one-on-one, while Wang Xian hunted them down. Wang Xian arrived at a Third Order universe sovereign. While the other party was still resisting the attacks of the Dragon Palace experts, Wang Xian easily killed him. 1 move, 1 kill, very easy. The experts from the 3 races did not even have time to react. In just a dozen seconds, Wang Xian had killed more than a dozen Third Order sovereigns. Since the start of the battle, the 3 races had lost 20 Third Order sovereigns. However, among these experts, there were some who had life-saving treasures. They left behind a corpse and escaped. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, I'll kill you! I want you dead! The leader of the radiant insect race saw the experts being killed by Wang Xian. If this continued, all of them would die. His eyes were filled with the will to die, and his face was filled with madness. Insect God enter the body, Dragon King's slayer! The leader of the radiant insect race roared and spread his wings. A huge hole was torn in the middle of the wings. G. Behind him, the enormous insect god turned into numerous small insects that surged into his body. Leader! All the experts from the radiant insect race saw this, and their faces changed as they roared. Once the insect god entered the body, only death awaited. Even if they had life-saving treasures, it was useless. Chapter 3583. Arg! A painful scream came from the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe as his body trembled violently. He was going to risk his life. When the surrounding experts and disciples of the light-chirping insect tribe witnessed this scene, their hearts pounded violently, and their eyes turned bloodshot. The strongest trump card of the light-chirping insect tribe, Insect God Possession. Initially, the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe did not want to take this step. Once he did, it would mean death. There was no chance of survival. But at this stage, continuing would mean a slow death. The only way out was to kill. Otherwise, the light-chirping insect tribe would be finished. Huh! Wang Xian squinted his eyes when he saw the changes in the body of the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe, and the rising aura of his body. He moved and flapped his wings of the beginning as he charged at Yi Futian. Wang! The moment Wang Xian charged over, the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe, who was screaming violently, opened his blood-red eyes. Ka ka ka! Following which, the skin on his body cracked open slowly. Eyes popped out and stared coldly at Wang Xian. There were at least a few million pairs of eyes on his huge body. Dragon King, I've locked onto you. You killed the disciples of the light-chirping insect tribe. I'll bury all the experts of the Dragon Palace with you. The leader of the light-chirping insect tribe opened his sharp mouth and roared with bloodthirst. His eyes were filled with madness. He flapped his wings and attacked Wang Xian directly. The moment he moved, the eyes of the countless insects emitted the power of light and blessed the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe. Wang! In an instant, the speed of the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe increased dramatically as his eyes locked on Wang Xian. The pair of horns of the inborn cardinal treasure above his head emitted a light blade and attacked Wang Xian. Huh! His speed and strength have increased tremendously. He must have used some special secret technique. Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he saw the changes in the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe. Wang! He moved and the dark ghost doppelganger appeared beside him with the 5 elements grindstone hovering below him. Divine tail playing with pearls! His divine dragon swung its tail, and a wave of energy from the 5 elements great grindstone was injected into it. Lingling's blessing also landed on it. A powerful gnomological Dharma idol attack, divine tail playing with pearls, attacked the light cry insect tribe leader. Boom! The god tail playing with pearls collided with the attack of the primordial cardinal treasure, and defeated it. Then, it continued to attack the leader of the light-chirping insect race. The leader of the light cry insect race flapped his wings. Huge eyes of light appeared and attacked god tail playing with pearls. Boom boom boom! The sound of an explosion reverberated as the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe continued to attack Wang Xian. Kill! Wang Xian sensed the strength of the leader of the luminous insect tribe. His eyes narrowed as he charged over. Bam bam bam! In close combat, he waved his dragon claws to meet the claws of the light-buzzing insect tribe's patriarch. The sound of collision reverberated. With the support of the Tai Chi dragon board and the 5 elements great grindstone, the leader of the light-chirping insect tribe was still able to withstand it. This caused his expression to change. The secret technique of the light-buzzing insect tribe patriarch was very powerful. It allowed him to almost be able to contend against the true ruler of the universe. Dark Ghost Doppelganger. However, Wang Xian still had the dark ghost doppelganger. The dark ghost doppelganger roared and a black flame engulfed the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe. Wang! A part of the eyes of the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe looked at the dark ghost doppelganger and formed a light defense. The attack of the dark ghost doppelganger did not break through his defense. Courting death. Light wave block. The leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe felt Wang Xian's attack personally and his expression changed drastically. He let out a roar and emitted a wave of fluctuation that radiated in all directions, as though he was going to obliterate everything. 5 elements great grindstone, 5 dragons chaos. Wang Xian let out a low roar as his dragon claws landed on the 5 elements great grindstone. All kinds of weapons shot out from the grindstone. Treasures of 5 different attributes smashed towards the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe like meteorites. Ghost mist. The dark ghost doppelganger let out a low roar as a black mist filled with corrosive power shrouded the surroundings. Dodge. All the experts in the surroundings felt the battle between Wang Xian and the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe. They were shocked and immediately hid in the surroundings. Their battle was too terrifying. Arg. At this time, screams continued to ring out from the side. Wang Xian was temporarily held back by the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe, but the experts from the Giant of Light tribe and the Sacred Dragon bloodline were hunted down by Ling Honggu. Ling Honggu's current overall strength was even stronger than Wang Xian. She only needed 1,000 years to reach the Universe Lord realm. 1,000 years was just a snap of the fingers for the chaotic continent. Coupled with her powerful inheritance, her combat strength was exceptionally terrifying. In a short period of time, another 2 third-order Universe Lords were killed. At this point, the number of pinnacle experts from the 3 major races who died in the hands of Ling Honggu and Wang Xian had reached 24. Now they were only left with 30 third-order Universe Lords. These 30 experts were besieged by more than 50 third-order Universe Lords from the Dragon Palace. Sacred Dragon King, give me your light taboo book! The leader of the Giant of Light tribe glanced at the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe, clenched his fists, and roared at the Sacred Dragon King. All right. The Sacred Dragon King had just destroyed a dragon pillar, and realized that it had no effect. His expression was exceptionally ugly. He waved his arm and threw a book at the Giant of Light tribe. Taboo art, taboo body, activate! The Sacred Dragon King gritted his teeth and roared violently. In the next moment, his body gradually enlarged and golden blood flowed out from his body. The taboo book appeared above him and a ray of light descended, preventing his blood from flowing out. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe's body expanded rapidly, becoming more than 10 times bigger. The incomparably huge axe in his hand also looked a lot smaller at this moment. How dare you kill the disciple of the Giant of Light tribe? I'll kill you! The leader of the Giant of Light tribe entered the clouds and waved his arm. That originally incomparably huge peak of light was easily caught in his hands. Holding the mountain of light, he smashed it towards Ling Honggu. Humph, you think you can kill me? Ling Honggu stared at the leader of the Giant of Light tribe, her face filled with disdain. She waved her arm and the blood-red ribbon behind her attacked the huge leader of the Giant of Light tribe. Ling Honggu's body was incomparably small in front of her. However, her terrifying aura was still superior. The blood-red ribbon emitted flames as it attacked the leader of the Giant of Light tribe. Chapter 3584. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! Bang! The blood-red ribbon was covered in flames as it flew toward the tribe leader of the Giant of Light. Giant Peak of Light, destroy all laws! The tribe leader waved his arm and the Giant Peak of Light flew toward the blood-red ribbon. Boom! The sound of the collision rang out. However, the horrifying power seemed to have exceeded the tribe leader's expectations. He could not help but stumble back a few hundred steps. It was as if the sky was falling and the earth was collapsing. Axe activate! The leader of the Giant of Light tribe steadied himself and slashed towards Ling Honggu. Ling Honggu's body trembled. He created clones and easily dodged the attack. Thousands of clones from all directions attacked the legs, body, and head of the Giant of Light. Giant Peak of Light, shake! The tribe leader of the Giant of Light roared. He let the Peak of Light float in front of his chest. A surge of energy entered his body, and he shook it forcefully. Boom! The energy directly penetrated the ground and landed on the ground, making an incomparably terrifying sound. Holy Dragon King, don't hold back. Kill the powerful ones from the Dragon Palace and let our disciples leave! The Giant of Light felt Ling Hongdu's attack and his expression was grim. Even with the help of the Book of Taboo and the Forbidden Skill, he was still no match for Ling Hongdu. This sent chills down his spine. The strength of this powerful one from the Dragon Palace was too horrifying. He had not reached the Universe Lord realm, but his strength was no weaker than a Universe Lord's. One had to know that his own forbidden skill could be terrifying. All right. The Holy Dragon King saw the tribe leader of the Light Insects and the tribe leader of the Giant of Light going all out. He gritted his teeth and swayed his huge dragon body as he attacked another dragon pillar. Lackey of the Angels, I'm still here! However, at this moment, the Aqua Tentacle King swayed its humongous body. Its 3 eyes locked onto the Holy Dragon King and attacked him. Bastard, go to hell! The Holy Dragon King was filled with murderous intent when a puny battle pet dared to attack him. He swung his tail. Bang! 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 However, his tail did not gain the upper hand when it collided with the tentacles of the Tentacle King. Instead, the tentacles wrapped around his dragon tail. Damn it! Why are there so many experts in the Dragon Palace? The Holy Dragon King stared at the Water Tentacle King, his heart pounding violently. Charm, desire! At this moment, at the battlefield between Dragon Palace and the top experts of the 3 clans, the Phantom Dragon stood at the back, holding a black flower of the other shore in her hand. Her gaze locked onto a third-order universe sovereign from the Light Cry insect race. In front of him, a demonic dragon was engaged in a fierce battle. Now Dragon Palace had the upper hand in terms of the number of peak experts. More than a dozen peak experts from the 3 races were besieged by 2 experts from the Dragon Palace. Under such circumstances, the mystic dragon species suddenly intervened in the battle. Although the peak powerhouse of the Light Cry insect race looked embarrassed, he was still prepared. Waves of energy wrapped around him, carrying out a comprehensive defense. Just as his defense was completed, he felt his vision blur. Boom! In front of them, the terrifying demonic dragon claw caused their defenses to collapse. However, he had already recovered and heaved a sigh of relief. The weirdness of the experts of Dragon Palace made his heart tremble. Puff! All of a sudden, he felt his heart tremble violently as a destructive aura rushed into his body. He felt his life force being destroyed at a crazy rate, and his body was getting weaker and weaker. Cough, cough, cough! With a thought, he sensed a strange shadow of light and darkness behind him. It was the spiked dragon species. Roar! Roar! The demonic dragon claw descended once again, causing his vision to darken. Next! Roving Demon's voice rang in the mind of the Phantom Dragon species leader. The Phantom Dragon species leader nodded his head. Between the 2 of them, one would temporarily charm, while the other would assassinate. With the experts from Dragon Palace in front of them, it was easy to hunt. Roving Demon's figure disappeared, and he quickly locked onto another third-order universe sovereign expert. The mystic dragon's strange eyes looked over and immediately launched a strange attack. 1! The strange attack was formed once again. Roving Demon's figure appeared once again. Another third-order universe sovereign expert was assassinated. Ah! Be careful of the spiked dragon species from Dragon Palace. Be careful of the demonic existence in front of them. Before he died, the expert roared in disbelief. Huh! In the surroundings, the peak experts from the 3 races felt that one of their companions had been killed, and their expressions turned ugly. Array, trap, / kill! From the side, a cold voice rang out, and array after array shot towards a Radiance Divine Dragon. In front of the Radiance Divine Dragon, countless branches surrounded it. Roar, 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 no! In the face of this terrifying branch attack, in the face of the heavenly formation's attack, his face was filled with despair. Pun! Very quickly, a divine dragon fell from the sky. The sacred dragon bloodline, giant of light race, and insect race had fallen into a vicious cycle. Every time an expert was killed, the three races would have one less peak-level expert. On the Dragon Palace's side, an expert was freed. Every time an expert of Dragon Palace was freed, another expert would fall into a desperate situation. Law of Law, Frost Dragon Wing Slash! In the center, Bei Shuang exuded a terrifying aura as she charged towards one of the Giant of Light race. A pair of dragon wings formed from frost appeared on her body, and she attacked the Giant of Light race's body. Even if the variant Divine Dragon's cultivation realm wasn't high, she could easily suppress an opponent of the same level. In a one-on-one situation, Bei Shuang could completely suppress an opponent of the same level. Swish, 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 swish! At this time, terrifying arrows were shot towards the pinnacle powerhouse of the Giant of Light race. The speed of the arrows was terrifying, and under the frost, the speed of the Giant of Light race was greatly restricted. Roar, roar! He roared and hurriedly raised his arm to block the attack. Swish, 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 swish! However, in this instant, it was as if countless arrows had landed on his arm. His arm slowly split apart until it completely collapsed. Roar, roar! Bei Shuang spat a mouthful of frost on his body, causing it to slowly freeze. Pun pun! The arrows landed on his body, causing it to slowly split apart. Strange spiritual attacks, array attacks, powerful close combat, terrifying defense, and accurate long-range attacks. The dragon species of the Dragon Palace had displayed terrifying combat strength. Chapter 3585. Arg! The experts from the sacred dragon bloodline, light insect race, and giant light clan screamed in agony. The three major races were now at a complete disadvantage in terms of strength. As of now, there were less than 20 first and second order sovereigns who were still alive. Under the terrifying aftermath of this battle, they could only try their best to dodge and resist. The battle continued. In just a dozen minutes, the number of third order universe sovereigns from the three major races had increased from 20 to more than 30. There were only about 20 who were still fighting. And each of these 20 were besieged by at least 2 third order universe sovereigns from Dragon Palace. Some were even besieged by 3. How can this Dragon King be so terrifying? How can he be so strong? He has clearly not stepped into the true universe sovereign realm. How can he have such terrifying strength? The light insect race patriarch roared with an ugly expression as he fought with Wang Xian. Wang Xian's strength had completely exceeded his expectations. He had risked his life to use the forbidden art, risked his life to increase his strength, but still could not do anything to the Dragon King of Dragon Palace. How could an existence below the universe sovereign realm be so terrifying? He attacked desperately, constantly depleting his life force. At this time, he had no way out. Hearing the screams of the surrounding experts, the light insect race patriarch's eyes were filled with despair. Sacred Dragon King, immediately take out all your trump cards and let the disciples of the other races escape. Quick! Quick! At the side, the giant light clan patriarch held a giant light peak in one hand and a giant axe in the other. He sensed the situation around him and roared with bloodshot eyes. Even after using the forbidden art, he was still suppressed by the lady in red from Dragon Palace. Her terrifying strength made him tremble. If this went on, all the experts and disciples of the three major races would die. Trump cards! I have no more trump cards! Sacred Dragon King roared with an ugly expression when he heard the giant light clan patriarch's words. His foundation and that of the sacred dragon bloodline were inferior to the giant light clan and the light insect race. In order to deal with the ancestral dragon leader, he had already used up most of his trump cards. Other than some life-saving means and one or two innate cardinal treasures, he had no other trump cards. When the leader of the Giant of Light heard his words, he felt his vision go black. His breathing quickened as he scanned his surroundings. Boom! He raised the peak of light in his hand and smashed it towards Ling Honggu. "Members of the Giant of Light, follow me! Flee!" At this moment, he completely gave up resisting and roared. As for how many experts and disciples would be able to escape, he couldn't care less. Now, the only thing that mattered was how much they could escape. "I'll bring up the rear, you guys run!" The light-buzzing insect race's patriarch roared as if he was facing death with equanimity. "Roar!" He let out a wild roar as blood slowly flowed out of his eyes. The blood burned and turned into a terrifying light energy. The light condensed into the shadows of the insects, covering the sky and covering the earth as they attacked the experts of Dragon Palace. When Wang Xian sensed the attack from the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe, his expression changed. "This is..." At that moment, he saw the body of the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe begin to crumble bit by bit. The crumbling body condensed into insects. Every single one of these insects possessed extremely powerful destructive power. The leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe consumed all his energy and flesh to fight for the last bit of time. Among them, a portion of the insects attacked the dragon pillars. The power that erupted from this attack was comparable to the full blow of a true Universe Lord Realm expert. 20 to 30 experts of the Dragon Palace were blocked by this horrifying attack. Even Wang Xian was hindered a little. "Light-buzzing insect tribe, it's your fault for following the wrong master. It's your fault for wanting to annihilate the Dragon Palace," Wang Xian said coldly as he flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and stared at the gradually dissipating leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe. "Leader! Gg. A sorrowful voice came from the front. When the experts of the light-buzzing insect tribe looked over, their eyes were filled with grief and indignation. "Dragon Palace, the light-buzzing insect tribe will not let you off. Just you wait! Run!" The experts of the light-buzzing insect tribe screamed as they fled. They knew that their patriarch had fallen. "The Dragon Palace has been waiting. We have no feud with you. It was you who wanted to annihilate the Dragon Palace first. In that case, be prepared to be annihilated." Wang Xian exuded a terrifying murderous aura once again. With a shift of his body, he gave chase. The attack from the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe could not stop Wang Xian at all. He locked on to an expert of the light-buzzing insect tribe at the back. He swayed his huge body and injected energy into the 5 elements great grindstone. "No!" The expert of the light-buzzing insect tribe roared in despair. "Go down and accompany your leader," Wang Xian said with murderous intent. Boom! The 5 elements great grindstone smashed on his body, causing his vitality to disappear rapidly. He immediately switched to the next target. Behind him, an expert of the Dragon Palace came and killed him. "Dragon King, they have escaped from the range of the array. The attack of the leader of the light-buzzing insect tribe was blocked." A voice transmission came from the sky array. Wang Xian did not react. This time, it would be difficult for the Dragon Palace to keep all the experts here. He was already very satisfied with the results he had achieved so far. Wang Xian chased from behind. His dragon eyes that were integrated into his dragon eyes locked onto a giant of light. The phantom of the inborn treasure dragon eyes appeared around him, causing his body to tremble slightly. "Leader, save me!" he roared in despair. The leader of the giant of light who was fleeing in front took a glance, gritted his teeth, and continued to flee. Bam! The terrifying attack landed on him, severely injuring him instantly and causing him to fall. The disciples of the Dragon Palace surrounded him immediately. "Save me!" At this time, another desperate voice was heard from the side. Ling Hongdu dodged the attack of the giant peak of light and chased after them. An expert of the sacred dragon bloodline was left behind. "Escape back to your own holy kingdom!" The sacred dragon king looked over and saw that he had put some distance between himself and Wang Xian. Seeing Ling Honggu and Wang Xian locking on to other experts, his body trembled and he growled in a low voice. His figure gradually disappeared. The few experts at the forefront also hurriedly returned to their own divine kingdoms. The experts at the back still couldn't make it in time. They burned their lives to escape. This was because they had started burning their lives to escape. Only Wang Xian and Ling Honggu could catch up to them. This caused them to escape back to their own holy kingdoms. Chapter 3586. Dragon King of Dragon Palace, just you wait. I'll take revenge. The leader of the Giant of Light tribe let out a roar filled with endless hatred as he left. There were only 2 third-order sovereigns who were escaping. The faces of the last 2 experts were filled with despair. They even reduced their speed and gave up on escaping. They couldn't escape. Facing the Dragon King and the Lady in Red, there was no way they could escape. He stopped in despair and faced his impending death. Wang Xian did not show any mercy. He killed the last 2 third-order universe sovereigns. As for the other ranks, a few lucky ones managed to escape back to their own divine kingdoms in the battle just now. The rest were all killed. A great battle, accompanied by the screams of the light insect race powerhouses and the Giant of Light powerhouses, officially ended. The disciples of Dragon Palace immediately flew over and collected the corpses. Wang Xian looked at the place where they disappeared and revealed a smile. This battle was a complete victory. Their trump cards are still very strong. Ling Honggu flew over and said with flickering eyes. Thank you, Honggu, for your help this time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have won. Wang Xian looked at Ling Honggu and thanked him. The trump cards of the Giant of Light and Light Insect race were indeed strong. Especially when the Light Insect race risked their lives and used the forbidden art to restrain him. Without Ling Honggu, the other experts of Dragon Palace wouldn't have been able to withstand the forbidden art of the Giant of Light tribe leader. Even if they could withstand it, Dragon Palace wouldn't be able to wipe out so many experts. This is what I should do. It's a pity that I didn't leave more behind. Ling Honggu shook his head and said with a smile. That's enough. Of the experts from the 3 races, only 13 of them managed to escape. Wang Xian said with a smile. From the sacred dragon bloodline, Giants of Light, and luminescent insect race, there were 41 corpses of third-order sovereigns. As for how many of these 41 experts could be revived with the help of their life-saving treasures, Wang Xian didn't think it was important. 41 corpses could increase the number of third-order universe sovereigns in the Dragon Palace by 41. That might not be all. This was because they still had over 1,000 corpses of first and second-order universe sovereigns. This time, almost all the experts of the 3 races were killed here. Dragon King! At this moment, Roving Heavens and the rest flew over and shouted respectfully. Have you collected all the bodies? Wang Xian looked at them and asked. Dragon King, all of them have been collected. The experts of Dragon Palace nodded their heads. And lie. He looked to the side and said to himself. Dragon King! Dark Blaze bowed respectfully. Let's go. Bring us to the Shepherd God tribe. Let's see if they've escaped, or if anything has happened to them. Wang Xian ordered immediately. It's Dragon King. Unlai nodded and a wave of energy enveloped all of them. The next moment, Wang Xian and the rest disappeared. This battle is over? It's over? It was completely over? The duration of the battle was very short. The sacred dragon bloodline, the Giant of Light, and the luminous insect race were completely defeated. The strength of Dragon Palace is really terrifying. The leader of the luminous insect race seems to have fallen completely. He died in order to let his subordinates escape. Even when the leader of the luminous insect race risked his life, not many people from the 3 races managed to escape. In the end, only a dozen third-order universe sovereigns managed to escape, right? SSS, the strength of Dragon Palace's Dragon King is too terrifying. This time, the sacred dragon bloodline is completely defeated. Who would have thought that it would end like this? In the direction of the solitary Heaven City, some experts and disciples looked over. Their faces were filled with shock. They had witnessed this battle with their own eyes. The sacred dragon bloodline and the three races were completely powerless to resist. The divine dragons, giants, and insect race continued to fall from the sky. The screams were endless. More than 40 Third Order Universe sovereigns were killed by Dragon Palace. That was more than 40 of them. What kind of concept was that? The strength of Dragon Palace had exceeded everyone's expectations. In the end, the Sacred Dragon King, the leader of the Giant of Light, and the rest fled. Everyone thought that the Dragon Palace would be annihilated. No one had expected the Dragon Palace to resolve the battle in such a manner. Moreover, they had suffered such heavy losses. Next, which race in the chaotic continent would dare to provoke the Dragon Palace? 1. Just as everyone in the solitary Heaven City was in shock, Wan Xian and the rest returned to the Sacred Dragon Race's territory. Now that the Giant of Light and luminous insect race of the Sacred Dragon bloodline were almost annihilated, only the Sacred Dragon race, Black Fog Spirit race, and Ghoul race were left. Wan Xian had no fear towards these three races. Given their current strength, they could definitely kill their way back and fight with the experts of the Sacred Dragon race. They could even annihilate them. Near the center of the territory of the Sacred Dragon race, Wan Xian led more than 50 experts from Dragon Palace. There's a majestic energy in the center. It should be the experts of the Sacred Dragon race and the other two races. The moment they teleported over, the Water Tentacle King immediately sensed it and said to Wan Xian, "Let's go and kill them." Wan Xian's eyes were filled with coldness. He moved and flew towards the center of the Sacred Dragon race. Rumble! The group of experts from Dragon Palace. They immediately followed behind. At the same time, at the center of the territory of the Sacred Dragon race, the leader of the Sacred Dragon race and the rest did not leave. They were still paying attention to some matters regarding the Universe AI. They were paying attention to the battle between the Dragon Palace and the Sacred Dragon bloodline. Without the help of the luminous insect race and the other two races, it was impossible for them to rush over immediately. They could only check on the situation of the three races through the Universe AI. But as time went by, their faces turned uglier and uglier. From the beginning when the three races fled, to being trapped by the array, to the screams and deaths, the experts from the Sacred Dragon race and the other two races were unusually gloomy. At this time, a horrifying energy fluctuation suddenly appeared on the right. The leader of the Sacred Dragon race and the rest were taken aback as they quickly looked to the right. The next moment, they saw several divine dragons flying towards them with horrifying dragon might. The leader of the group was the Dragon King of the Sacred Dragon race. Seeing the group of experts from the Dragon Palace charging towards them, the leader of the Sacred Dragon race and the rest were dumbfounded. What's going on? Did the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace suddenly come back? Run! The leader of the Sacred Dragon race, the leader of the Black Fog Spirit tribe, and the leader of the Ghoul tribe narrowed their eyes. Without any hesitation, they immediately ordered. Chapter 3587. Run! The experts from the Shepherd tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Ghoul Eaters were extremely embarrassed when they saw the horrifying aura coming from the right and the experts from Dragon Palace charging towards them. They fled immediately without hesitation. What else could they do but flee now? This time, the 6 major races were divided into 2 teams to deal with the unexpected situation. The strength of the Sacred Dragon bloodline, the Giants of Light, and the Radiant Insect tribe was similar to that of the Shepherd tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Ghoul Eaters. Now that a large number of experts from the Giants of Light had been killed by Dragon Palace, the Shepherd tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Ghoul Eaters would definitely not be a match for Dragon Palace. Therefore, at this time, they did not hesitate. Flee! Flee immediately! Let's go! The experts from the Black Fog Spirit tribe, Ghoul Eaters, and Ghoul Eaters did not hesitate and disappeared immediately. The leader of the Shepherd tribe and the rest also left immediately. On the right, Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw all of them leaving. Dragon King, they have all escaped. Should we go to the Giants of Light directly? Unlai said to Wang Xian as he stood at the side. Yeah, let's go to the Giants of Light. The leader of the Giants of Light has escaped, but they only have 2 or 3 experts left. Let's go directly. Wang Xian did not continue to hunt down the experts from the shepherd tribe. What he wanted to do was to disperse the 3 major tribes. After that, he would go to the Giants of Light. Among the 3 major races that Wang Xian had killed, the Giants of Light were the strongest and had the strongest foundation. Similarly, their treasures might also be the strongest. Most of the experts from the Giants of Light had been killed. However, Wang Xian and the rest did not obtain many treasures. Wang Xian and the rest were going to look for the holy nations of the experts from the Giants of Light. They had more than a dozen holy nations of the pinnacle experts from the Giants of Light. Finding their holy nations would yield a large number of treasures. If they were lucky, they might even be able to get the treasure vault of the Giants of Light. 1. The dark blaze enveloped them, and their figures immediately disappeared. When Wang Xian and the rest reappeared, they were already in the territory of the Giants of Light. Over the past few months, Unlai had left demonic soul altars in the territories of the 6 major races. Through the demonic soul altars, they could rush over instantly. Sky formation! When they arrived, Wang Xian looked at Tianjin and the rest. The heavenly array nodded and immediately began to search for the divine kingdom of the Giant of Light. Damn it! Damn it! How did this happen? At this moment, in the center of the Giant Light Tribe, the Giant Light Tribe Patriarch had returned to his divine kingdom and immediately went to the location of his tribe's heavenly abode. Thinking of the consequences of this battle, his heart bled. This time, 80% of their experts went out to battle, but only 4 survived. 4 third-order sovereigns had managed to survive. As for the first and second level universe rulers, only 2 survived. In this battle, the foundation of the Giants of Light had been completely destroyed. 80% of the universe ruler level experts had been lost. This loss was far too great. Patriarch. At this time, the remaining 8 third-order sovereigns from the Giant of Light race sensed the arrival of their patriarch. They immediately flew over and stood in front of him with ugly expressions. We've suffered a crushing defeat this time. Appease all the disciples. Also, to prevent any accidents, guard the surroundings. The Giant of Light Tribe Patriarch said with an ugly expression. Yes, Patriarch. One of the Giant of Light nodded. 111. However, at this moment, an alarm suddenly rang. Huh! The Giant of Light Tribe Patriarch was slightly stunned. He immediately stood up and stared outside. What happened? Why did the alarm suddenly ring? He shouted in shock. One of the Giant of Light Tribe beside him waved his hand and a technological item flew in front of them, displaying an image. In the image, many divine dragons were flying within the Giant of Light Tribe's territory, and they were flying towards them. Damn it, those bastards from Dragon Palace actually chased after us. When the Giant of Light Tribe Patriarch saw this, his eyes shrunk. Go, immediately bring all the disciples and escape. Similarly, he did not hesitate as he roared. Yes, Patriarch. The 8 third-order universe sovereigns did not hesitate at all as they flew towards the exit. All Giant of Light Tribe disciples, immediately escape with us. They flew over and roared. Escape? Could it be that the experts from Dragon Palace are attacking? How is that possible? Quick, the alarm is ringing. It should be the experts from Dragon Palace attacking. The disciples of the Giant of Light Tribe had already received news of the Giant of Light Tribe's defeat at the hands of Dragon Palace through the AI. Now that the alarm of their tribe was ringing, their superiors ordered them to escape. None of the disciples hesitated at all. Enter the Divine Kingdom, let's go. The group of powerhouses placed all the disciples into their own divine kingdoms. Then, together with the Giant of Light Patriarch, they quickly fled outside. They did not place their hopes on the Giant of Light Tribe's blessed land. With the shepherd tribe as an example, they knew that the blessed land could not withstand the attacks of Dragon Palace. Moreover, after exchanging blows with the experts from Dragon Palace, the strength of the Dragon King and the lady in red from Dragon Palace made them shiver in fear. The Giant of Light tribe patriarch and the rest led all the disciples out of their territory with sullen and unwilling expressions. Let's go to the Angel tribe. The Giant of Light tribe patriarch looked at his territory, his face filled with unwillingness as he roared in a low voice. This time, the 6 major races had joined forces and yet they had fallen at the hands of Dragon Palace. This made them very unwilling to accept it. After this complete defeat, it would be extremely difficult for them to deal with Dragon Palace again. This was because under the circumstances where the pinnacle races could not intervene, the Angel tribe already had a subsidiary race that could deal with Dragon Palace. Not only could they not deal with them, but they would also have to face the revenge of Dragon Palace. Dragon King, they have all escaped. When Wang Xian and the rest arrived at the center of the Giant of Light tribe, Sky Formation sensed the surroundings and reported. So be it. Let's start looking for treasures. Wang Xian shook his head nonchalantly. This time, they were not here to hunt them down, but for the divine kingdoms of the experts who had been killed. Destroy all the teleportation arrays. Unlie, make a trip back to Dragon Palace and bring all the witch dragons with the combat strength of the Universe Lord. Sky Formation instructed them. Chapter 3588. All right. And Lai nodded and immediately set up a demonic soul altar. Among the witch dragons, there were 2 others at the same level as Tianjin. The strength of the witch dragons depended on their mastery of array formations and the number of array formations they had mastered. The other 2 witch dragons did not have as much experience as Tianjin. This resulted in a huge difference in strength between them and Tianjin. The witch dragons were the dragon species with the greatest potential in the Dragon Palace. If they could master more array formations, it was highly possible for them to be on par with the variant divine dragons. After Enlai left, Tianjin and the other 2 witch dragons immediately started searching for a god nation. With the corpses around, it was very easy for them to find a god nation. Over here! Soon, Tianjin and the others locked onto 3 corpses and flew over to search. All the array formations of the Giant of Light tribe were destroyed. It was impossible for the outside world to teleport in. This was to prevent accidents from happening. This Dragon Palace killed a large number of experts from the sacred dragon bloodline, light insect race, and Giant of Light tribe? This Dragon Palace's strength is terrifying. How can they be so strong? We were still thinking about how to defend against the invasion of the 6 major races, but they have already killed a large number of experts from the sacred dragon bloodline, light Giant of Light, and light insect race. The Dragon King of Dragon Palace is so strong! At the same time, in the old lair of the ancestral dragon bloodline, under the command of a group of third-order sovereigns, the ancestral dragon bloodline had gathered together. Originally, they were prepared to fight against the 6 major races together with the Dragon Palace. Unexpectedly, they received such news from the smart computer. How strong was the Dragon Palace? How strong was the Dragon King of Dragon Palace? Even when the leader of the ancestral dragon bloodline was still around, they were not so strong. Even when their leader was still around and all the disciples gathered, they were only one of the 6 major races that were comparable to the Giant of Light tribe and light insect race. But now, the Dragon Palace was fighting 1 against 3, and only a dozen of them managed to escape. This terrifying strength shocked them. With this strength, the Dragon Palace doesn't need us at all. No wonder the Dragon King of Dragon Palace didn't look for us to discuss an alliance. It seems that the Dragon Palace doesn't care about us at all. In the central hall of the ancestral dragon's lair, the Golden Dragon King sighed with emotion. That's right. According to the intelligence system, the Dragon Palace also has over 50 third-order universe sovereigns. However, the Dragon King and another expert from the Dragon Palace are extremely terrifying. They can easily kill third-order universe sovereigns. Their strength is too terrifying. Even when facing over 50 third-order sovereigns from the three races, they were still able to kill over 40 of them. Too strong. The group of ancestral dragon powerhouses sighed. As they read the news, they were extremely shocked. The strength of the Dragon Palace could easily kill their peak ancestral dragon bloodline. The Divine Dragon Palace's Dragon King can lead our Divine Dragon bloodline to the peak again. The Azure Dragon King sighed slightly. With the strength displayed by the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, the glory of the Divine Dragons would depend on the Dragon Palace. They also believed that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace would bring the Divine Dragon bloodline back to its peak. The main reason was that the Dragon Palace was too insane for them. What they had to consider now was whether they should join the Dragon Palace directly. After this battle, the Dragon Palace would be the last hope of the Divine Dragon tribe. Angel Race, Radiance God Mountain. The three races were defeated, and the Shepherd God tribe, Black Fog Spirit tribe, and Ghost Ghoul tribe were scared off by the Dragon Palace. After returning to their respective divine kingdoms, they immediately rushed to the Radiance God Mountain. They had obeyed the orders of the angel race to attack the Dragon Palace. Who would have thought that things would turn out this way? This result caused them to feel extremely embarrassed and terrified. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Through the transmission array, they arrived at a large hall of the angel race and waited there quietly. Where are the Giant of Light tribe's patriarch and the rest? One by one, the patriarchs arrived and waited there. The Sacred Dragon King looked at them and asked in a low voice when he did not see the Giant of Light tribe's patriarch. The Dragon Palace has entered the Giant of Light tribe's territory. The Giant of Light tribe's patriarch and the rest have led the experts out of the tribe. Without the transmission array, it will take a few days to rush over. The Black Fog Spirit tribe's patriarch said with a sullen face. He looked at an expert from the light insect race and asked, "How many peak experts do you have in your tribe?" "There's only 5 left." The expert from the light insect race was still exuding a strong murderous aura as he growled in a low voice. This time, the death of the light insect race's patriarch was a huge blow to them. Buzz. Just as he finished speaking, 2 figures appeared in front of them. One figure stood in front, the other one a step behind. "Greetings, Third Prince." "Greetings, Archangel Gabriel." The Sacred Dragon King and the rest immediately bowed respectfully when they saw them. The Third Prince nodded lightly. His gaze swept across them, his expression a little gloomy. "Third Prince, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is very powerful and terrifying. They attracted half of our experts away. The Sacred Dragon bloodline and the light insect race of the Giant of Light tribe are no match for them at all. This time, we were almost completely annihilated. Even the light insect race's patriarch has fallen." The Sacred Dragon King hurriedly knelt on the ground and reported loudly, "This is not your fault. The Dragon Palace's strength has also exceeded my expectations." The Third Prince said lightly, "It was naturally not the Sacred Dragon King's fault that the Giant of Light tribe and the light insect race suffered such heavy losses. The Dragon Palace's strength had far exceeded their expectations. Third Prince, you must avenge our patriarch. Our patriarch did not hesitate to sacrifice his life in order to let us escape." The expert from the light insect race knelt down and shouted in grief and indignation, "Don't worry, I will not let them off." The Third Prince said, his eyes flickering as he looked below, "How strong is the Dragon Palace?" "Third Prince, the Dragon Palace ambushed us with 54 Third-Order Universe sovereigns this time. However, the Dragon King and a lady in red from the Dragon Palace are abnormally powerful. They can easily kill us. Their strength is comparable to a true universe sovereign." The Sacred Dragon King and the rest immediately reported. "Oh?" His words caused Archangel Gabriel, who was standing at the back, to raise his brows slightly. His eyes flickered slightly. "Yes, Third Prince. The Giant of Light tribe's patriarch and the Giant of Light tribe's 8 experts besieged the Lady in Red from the Dragon Palace, but they were no match for her. She is extremely terrifying. She has the two attributes of darkness and fire. The expert from the light insect race added. Huh! The third prince also raised his brows, a trace of surprise on his face. The Dragon Palace actually had such an expert? Chapter 3589. The strength displayed by the Dragon Palace was beyond the angel tribe's expectations. Even the third prince raised his eyebrows slightly when he heard their message. In order to open the divine dragon tribe's treasury, for the legendary Heart of Light and Darkness, he had to unify the divine dragon tribe. The current Dragon Palace was indeed a big problem. Third prince, what should we do next? Sacred Dragon King saw that the third prince was deep in thought, and asked with a slightly embarrassed expression. Baal, go to the invincible domain and find some experts. The third prince stood there and hesitated for tens of seconds before speaking. Third prince, if you want to invite those fellows from the invincible domain, I'm afraid the price will not be small. At the back, Baal cupped his hands and said, Let me know what they need in return. I'll see if I can find a few pinnacle experts. The third prince said. Yes, third prince. Baal nodded. In front, Sacred Dragon King and the rest heard the words invincible domain, and their expressions changed. If the third prince can call the experts from the invincible domain, we will definitely be able to destroy them. Sacred Dragon King said hurriedly. On your side, I will send some angels to your tribe. You don't have to worry about the Dragon Palace continuing to attack you. The third prince continued plainly. Yes. Sacred Dragon King, Mutant God's tribe leader, and the rest immediately responded respectfully. The third prince waved his hand and disappeared. Archangel Baal also left. If the pinnacle experts from the invincible domain come to help us, then destroying the Dragon Palace should not be a problem. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace and that lady in red are very terrifying existences in the invincible domain, unless Lord Archangel Baal can find those insane experts. After the third prince and Archangel Baal left, Sacred Dragon King and the rest stood up and said in a low voice, If the third prince wants to destroy the Dragon Palace, then he will definitely be able to destroy them. Definitely. The experts from the Lightbug's tribe growled in a low voice. The invincible domain was the name of a domain. It was located in a void crack above the inner continent. That crack was a broken battlefield. Once, a large number of experts above the universe ruler realm besieged a race of giant star beasts. That crack in the void had been created by the giant star beast's special ability. All the experts who had besieged the giant star beast had been trapped there. Although the giant star beast was killed in the end, the group of experts was also trapped there. There were still broken divine kingdoms left behind. The divine kingdom supported the broken space, and within it flowed 9 types of attributes. The attributes there seemed to be tangible, the power of laws clearly visible. In that space, there was a desolate beast occupying it. Later on, it attracted a large number of experts. However, the desolate beasts there were terrifying, and there were many third-order universe sovereigns. There were even desolate beasts that had absorbed the energy of the astral beasts and mutated, their strength terrifying to the extreme. As time passed, that place became a training ground for peak experts. Currently, those that could stay there were at least second-order universe sovereigns. Most of them were third-order universe sovereigns. The universe was vast, and so was the great wilderness continent. In the 20 billion years since the end of the last cataclysm and before the birth of the next cataclysm, a great number of peak-level venerable experts were born in the universe. Not every peak-level universe sovereign expert could step into the universe sovereign realm. It was extremely difficult to step into the universe sovereign realm. Some experts could not break through in 100 million years, 1 billion years, or even 5 billion years. This caused these experts to think of ways to break through. There were 2 ways to break through. One was to have the help of treasures. The second was to gain enlightenment during life and death battles. Treasures were limited, thus one could only take the second way. Due to the special circumstances of the invincible region, many experts came here to seek breakthroughs. Over 10 billion years had passed, and the number of experts here increased. And the number of experts breaking through here increased as well. As more experts broke through, more experts came. As time passed, this place became known as the Invincible Region, because every single expert here was incomparably terrifying. In fact, there were even experts from peak-level races who came here to seek breakthroughs. Currently, in the Invincible Region, there were a few well-known experts. They were mutated experts amongst mutated experts. In other words, they were existences comparable to mutated divine dragons. When they were peak-level venerables, they could fight against true universe sovereigns. But due to their realm, they had not taken that step, and had been searching for opportunities to break through. Those few existences easily dealt with the dozen third-order sovereigns on the other side. But to invite such experts over, the price would not be low. After all, such experts could fight against Archangel Gabriel without any Sciention treasures. Sacred Dragon King and the rest waited in the hall for a while. Very quickly, 6 angels flew over. 6 great 12-winged angels, true universe sovereigns. They followed Sacred Dragon King and the rest back to their lair. Peak-level races could not interfere with high-level races' battles, but if a universe sovereign was a guest at a high-level race's place, then one could not disturb or attack them. Doing so would be an affront to the experts of the peak races, and the other party could attack. With the powerful warriors of the angel tribe holding the fort, the Holy Dragon King and the others returned to their own lair and quietly waited for news. Sacred Dragon King absorbed the treasures that the third prince gave him, anticipating the day he broke through. Dragon King, all the cosmos god nations have been found. There are 14 with third-order universe sovereigns. At the same time, in the Giant of Light tribe, Tianjin and the rest found all the cosmos god nations and reported to Wang Xian. Let's go back, we can't stay here any longer, Wang Xian said with a smile. Tianjin and the rest nodded. This time, the Dragon Palace's harvest was terrifying. 41 third-order universe sovereigns' corpses, and 14 cosmos god nations of the same level. Other than that, these 14 cosmos god nations had a large number of treasures, as well as the Shepherd tribe's treasure vault. As for the Shepherd tribe, when the 8-headed devilish parasites entered their blessed grotto heavens, they entered the Shepherd tribe's treasure vault and obtained a large number of treasures. In short, after this battle, the Dragon Palace would have more than 100 third-order universe sovereigns. But the specific increase would have to wait. Wang Xian wanted to see if he could raise Bei Shuang's realm. If he could raise Bei Shuang's realm to the pinnacle venerable realm, then he would be able to fight against a true universe sovereign. Also, he did not know if all the resources added together could help Wang Xian break through. Chapter 3590, 111. In the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian and all the Dragon Palace disciples had returned. This time, they had returned with great rewards. Bring all the resources over and use all the corpses to enhance the strength of the Dragon Palace disciples. Prime Minister Turtle immediately rushed over and instructed Wang Xian upon his return. Yes, Dragon King! Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Wang! At this time, Enlai also rushed over with Ling Honggu. Thank you, Princess Honggu. I won't trouble you for the rest. Wang Xian thanked Ling Honggu. Compared to the inheritance you helped me obtain, this is nothing. We have annihilated so many experts from the 3 major races. I don't think they will let us off so easily. Ling Honggu smiled and continued. Especially since they have the backing of the angel race. They should have other tricks up their sleeves. Half of the 6 major races have been crippled. Our Dragon Palace can handle the upcoming situation. Wang Xian smiled and said confidently. The improvement this time was great. Even if they gathered another 6 races, the Dragon Palace alone could handle them. I'll stay in the Dragon Palace for the time being. I need at most 1,000 years to reach the Universe Lord realm. After I advance, I'm afraid I won't be able to interfere. I'll leave after 1,000 years, Ling Honggu said to Wang Xian. All right. Wang Xian pondered for a moment and nodded. With Ling Honggu, the Dragon Palace would have an additional layer of protection. 1,000 years was nothing to experts like them. Unlie, bring Princess Linghonggu to a place to stay in the Dragon Peak. If she needs anything, she can direct the disciples of the Dragon Palace. In addition, you can see if there are any dark attribute treasures that you need, Wang Xian said to her. All right. Linghonggu nodded with a smile. Beside her, Unlie brought her back to where they were staying. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne, turned on the Universe AI, and browsed through it. Currently, the Universe AI was bustling with activity. The news of the Dragon Palace attacking the divine dragon bloodline, giant of light, and luminescent insect race and killing a large number of their experts had spread like wildfire. Everyone was guessing how strong the Dragon Palace was. Some experts and disciples from other forces said that the Dragon Palace might be the hope of the divine dragon race. There were all kinds of flattery. In short, this battle had shocked all the experts of the various races. With such strength, which of the high-level clans could compete with the Dragon Palace? The world of science and technology, recognized as the strongest race, might be able to suppress the Dragon Palace. But is there anyone else besides them? Almost none. However, among all the news, Wang Xian discovered a force. Well, it couldn't be called a force, but a region. Some disciples of the experts were discussing that the only experts that were stronger than the Dragon Palace were the technology world and the invincible domain. Later on, a powerful disciple broke this rule. The invincible region could not be called a force, it was just a region. Naturally, Wang Xian understood what the technological world was like. They were the strongest race in the universe that focused on science and technology. They were also the only race with science and technology in the primordial continent. The strength of this race was extremely terrifying. They had all kinds of technological weapons and technological items. There were even experts from peak races who purchased technological items from them. In the technological world, they were known as the strongest advanced race. No one knew exactly how strong they were, but no one dared to provoke them. This was the first time he heard of the invincible domain. Using the Universe AI to check, he understood a little. The invincible domain was the name of a region. Because it was the place where the pinnacle supremacies of the universe trained and wanted to break through, there were many pinnacle supremacies of the universe. Hence, it was called the invincible domain. Invincible below the pinnacle races. Not to mention, there were pinnacle supremacies of the universe training there. The invincible domain, it lived up to its name. Dragon King, all the treasures have been gathered here. Just as Wang Xian was looking through all the information, Prime Minister Turtle brought all the resources for this battle and reported to him. Wang Xian switched off the Universe AI. He was just a little curious about the invincible domain, but he didn't pay too much attention to it. If he wanted to break through, what he needed were resources, not battles and killings. Looking ahead, within the Dragon King Hall, there were many treasures. Wang Xian swept his gaze across, his eyes shining. There was only one primordial cardinal treasure, the pair of horns on the head of the light-chirping insect race. Other than this primordial cardinal treasure, there was nothing else. However, there were many primordial spiritual treasures, more than 2,000. After all, it was normal for the experts of the light-chirping insect race, the sacred dragon bloodline, and the giants of light to have one or two or more primordial spiritual treasures. In terms of resources, it was much less than Wang Xian had imagined. Wang Xian flew over, counted the resources, and frowned slightly. The resources obtained were much less than those obtained from the Heaven Plants Demon Beast race. The main reason was that these resources were mainly obtained from the holy kingdom of the experts of the Giants of Light. Most of the treasures and resources of an advanced race were concentrated in the hands of the Patriarch. The resources of the experts of the Giants of Light, as well as those obtained from the Shepherd clan, might not be enough for Wang Xian to break through. However, even if it wasn't enough, he might be able to reach about 90%. Although it can't make my strength break through, there are too many primordial spiritual treasures. Could it make the Tai Chi Dragon Plate break through? Wang Xian murmured. When he annihilated the Heaven Plants Demon Beast race, Wang Xian had obtained a large number of wood and 5 elements primordial spiritual treasures. There were more than 800 of them. This had improved the 5 elements grind significantly. However, this time, he had obtained more than 2,000. More than 1,000 experts of the Universe Lord Realm and above from the 3 major races, and all of them were of the light element. If the Tai Chi Dragon Plate devoured these primordial spiritual treasures, it should be able to evolve. If the Tai Chi Dragon Plate could evolve, Wang Xian's strength would reach a terrifying level. The Tai Chi Dragon Plate had the characteristics of a curse, and it could reflect attacks. Once the Tai Chi Dragon Plate was upgraded, Wang Xian could almost ignore the attacks of ordinary Universe Lords. In the realm of Third Order Universe Lords, he would be invincible. No one could break through his defense. Attacking him would result in a huge backlash. Even experts at the Universe Dominator realm couldn't do much to Wang Xian. After all, Wang Xian's strength was already comparable to a Universe Lord realm expert. If the Tai Chi Dragon Plate absorbs it, the possibility of a breakthrough is very high. Wang Xian murmured, his eyes shining. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.